This Devonshire home is Chambercombe Manor, a place that attracts tourists keen to see and hear of the ghosts said to haunt here. The biggest tale that this ancient home has to tell is that of a family who lived here in the 17th century. William Oatway's discovery that he had robbed his drowned daughter taught the smuggler a hard lesson. A guilt that Gordon feels still lingers in the room where the father had left her body to rot behind a bricked-up door.
Whether people have felt anything on this or not, I don't know, but I do sense terrible, terrible feelings as I come to these stairs. Catherine, she's the one who's been dragged up these stairs.
Go down the stairs and walk up?
Yeah.
We'll stand here. I'm horrible, aren't I?
I would be reluctant to come up these stairs. There's something, a force, an energy stops me coming up these stairs.
Whereabouts? Right from the very bottom?
Yeah. And even walking up, there's a horrid sense of dizziness. And if I close my eyes, it's almost like seeing this again. And I'm actually seeing the woman in sort of green clothes, like, I don't know, green long frocks with sort of frills and stuff like that. I honestly don't know what time period that would be. So I don't know whether she's been murdered, but I get the sense of her being battered.
And these people dragging her, are they responsible for that?
I honestly don't know. At the moment, I do feel a lot of guilt.
Kate's badly damaged body rendered her unrecognisable to her own parents. So once their realisation had turned to guilt, they did have a place close by in which to seek forgiveness for their treacherous sins.
It's like picking up on memory here. And I would go back to the time where there's something to do with smuggling, and there's two sides to this house. There's one side that is one side of a family, I've got to say, that are quite nasty. And yet I feel a very humble, a very prayerful side. That's why I'm comfortable coming in here. The feeling of guilt I had when I was up the stair. It's as though, oh my God, I've prayed so hard to be forgiven. Who are we sitting here? James Wallace. James Wallace.
Richard?
Yeah.
Yeah? Does that mean anything?
Yes, it does.
It does.
If I were to say where I felt strongest, certainly the room upstairs in the little gap behind the room, the little door thing that you go through, I'm sure people get spooked. They certainly would get spooked at those stairs. That is an energy that just stops you dead, trying to go up there.
Okay, and you think we're going to get activity tonight?
Oh, I hope so, because what you want to do is to really try and, in some way, help
her.
That spirit who's... She came here to do something, or was on her way here to do something, and it never happened. And it's as though she will just keep replaying that part of her memory until somebody points it out.
At least 3 owning families are believed to rest beneath this chapel floor, but it's another former occupant who still looms large at Chambercombe Manor. No one knows if Kate Wallace took a boat ride with the intention of visiting her mother and father's home, or if a cruel twist of fate saw the Oatways' dishevelled and dying daughter unwittingly robbed and entombed by her own cruel kin. And with reports of infantile hauntings often heard in the Chippendale room, David Wells was about to divulge more from this building's paranormal past and present.
The first thing that I'm really aware of is one strong female presence, and the presence of two children and one male. The children seem dominant here. 2 little girls in like classic kind of night shifts. So they're wearing night clothes, they're not wearing daytime clothes.
How old would you put them at?
Sort of start of school age, like 5, 6 years old. They're showing me one of them has blood, and it's coming from her mouth, and it's on her. They initially showed me on her gown. One has died of an illness, by the looks of it. The blood in the mouth tends to your lungs, I suppose, or something like that. And the other one just seems to be like a friend. And I can't get why she died.
But they're both seen here.
Yeah, both seen here. One is active. If you slept here, she would tug at the clothes, she would move things in the room. She might even do, all these kind of things, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So anything to get your attention.
Right.
But there's one woman who's around the place, around everything.
Do you want to walk further on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The tragic sight of Kate isn't the only female thought to roam this manor house. Ellen, her mother, is thought to be the lady seen standing above this crib, perhaps a sign of the maternal love that was sadly lacking whilst both ladies were alive. But how much pain will David sense from our next destination?
What's the matter?
I just really feel sick in this room, nauseous in this room. There's two things going on. There's one, I'm very aware of an astral on this bed. Not this bed. It's not, I don't think it is physically this bed, but that's how they're showing me it. Of a young woman. She looks like she's been battered to death. I'm very aware also of a baby in that crib, and it's rocking backwards and forwards. But they don't seem to be linked.
Right.
So they don't, that doesn't fit.
Okay.
That doesn't fit here at all. It shouldn't be here because she's stronger. She's attached to the house.
And who is this woman?
I'm getting the name Kate from the ether, I guess. And there's a surname as well, which is Wallace. She seems, she smells of the sea, but she looks like she's been battered. Now, whether she's been physically battered by someone, or whether she's been bashed against rocks or something like that.
When would this have happened, do you know?
17th century, late 1600s.
Okay.
Mid 1600s, maybe.
Are you saying she died in the sea?
No, because I can see her dragged and she seems to be alive. She's being tended to by a couple. It's kind of like they're after her money. She's definitely not at peace, and that we know.
Okay.
She's definitely not at peace.
Is she here a lot of the time?
Permanently.
Okay.
Permanently grounded. And she's saying, this is my tomb.
Do you want to walk
This
on?
is my tomb, is what she's saying.
One particular female may now have appeared at the forefront of our consciousness. But a move downstairs would soon remind us that other energies still exist within the fabric of Chambercombe Manor.
This room, again, the male figure seems to be dominating this space. Activity-wise, he might move a few things, I suppose. Not much. Clocks might change clocks. Might be a few clocks that do funny things. Be him.
Any name with him or?
Patrick.
Patrick.
Patrick was the first name there. Late 1700s, early 1800s.
Okay.
So 16th, 17th century. Yeah.
Are you excited about this evening? I mean, do you think this girl, Kate, or think we'd be able to help her? And
I think we can certainly help her because, you know, there's I can't at the moment see a real reason why she hasn't moved on. Very often, you know, if they don't move on, they're embarrassed because of their faith, or they've done something they've murdered, or, you know, apart from the fact, I suppose she could feel aggrieved at her treatment.
This Devonshire home has provided some of its inhabitants with more misery than anyone deserves, a suffering that is palpable from beyond the grave. Kate appears the strongest astral energy that we have encountered so far, but would the onset of night vision signal a transferal of her anxiety onto our crew's minds? We begin with Richard and Joe, who nestle down in the main hall, whilst the rest of the crew stand by. We attempt to obtain further sensory details through David and Gordon's seance circle. But in Chambercombe's most notorious room, would any of its perpetrators wish to respond?
If there's anybody there who wants to communicate with us, please give us a sign. Please knock on the table, touch one of us, come closer to us, to our energy. Just give us a sign and we will try and help you.
can you see my trousers moving?
Which side?
Both of them. Where my shins are. The floor was creaking as well under the feet.
I could feel it under.
And again, and again.
Can you feel it?
Yeah.